I am excited to get a chance to introduce to you another guest on our show. And this show that we've been exploring is called Life After, which helps explore some of the stories that we probably don't hear a lot about after students finish their high school careers in Kansas City and go on to whatever else that's calling them on their path. So today I'm joined by a person I knew briefly, I think in one class. And wasn't necessarily someone I worked with for multiple years, but I remember you from just 1 year of my teaching experience. Welcome, Reneil McKeithen.
Thank you.
It's good to have you, sir. So what we explore first in this little show is that year you graduated, that place, and then what you really remember that, you still think back on from that time, that part of your life. What's a takeaway that you might still consider valuable in this day?
Yes. Well, wow, man. Well, first off, I just want to let everybody know that that started my whole journey because, as well, Purcell Academy was an audition school, it's a performing arts school. So you had to audition to get there. And I just want to appreciate and let you know that, hey, you didn't have to accept me. You read over all my stuff for the creative writing thing. Right. And that pretty much started my journey back at Purcell because I wanted to always come back to Purcell. So I had to audition again. And I remember just making this portfolio or whatever of all the criteria and everything that I had to have to get back into school. So you didn't have to do it, and you looked at it and you accepted me back in. So I want to appreciate you for around that time, accepting me back. So that was pretty much good because around that time in my life, I was just looking to find a nice school so I can have a good career at. So around that time, it was very valuable to pick. It was around my junior year. I came back to Purcell because I started off there, then I left, went to Central 1 year, and then I came back. So gotcha. Around that time, it was pretty. It was a good blessing just to come back and didn't know that creative writing this time because I think I chose ROTC the first time, but creative writing was the path that I wanted to go in this time, and so I wrote some good stuff around that time. I couldn't tell you about that time, but
yeah. And what you keep saying that time? What year did you finish high school?
It was 2004.
Okay, so we're going back a ways. 2004. I mean, you may have already said that, but I don't know that everybody's heard that. Okay, I was only a fourth year teacher in 2004, very early in my career, also. And fun to retrace that far back. So take us back to that moment that you remember after high school. And I know you said you came and went back into the system and you found that valuable, but then what was that feeling like just finishing at Paseo and then deciding what you're going to do next? Do you remember that moment and help us kind of think back through what you did next?
Yes. Well, after that time, I was pretty, it was a challenge just to know where I was going to go to the next level, and basically take my talents, basically like sports. But I was a sports player. I was really looking for a nice HBCU just to go to. I think I got accepted to Tuskegee University at first. That was the first school that I got accepted to, but my mother was like, it's too far for you. So we want to keep you somewhere close. So Missouri Western up in St. Joe, right before they turned to university, they were a state college. I got accepted there, and Coach Suber, actually my basketball coach, helped me out with that as far as signing up. And once I got accepted or whatever like that,
Fantastic. Shout out to Ben Suber, who, if
It's
you go
over.
walk the halls and move around in Paseo some, you're bound to still see him there. He's still around
Oh
and
wow.
still helping people in that building. So that's one of
Yes.
those. And Coach Monaco. I don't know if you ever had Coach
That
Monaco.
was my coach, Coach
Yeah,
Monaco.
yeah, exactly. So
It was
I was
my
fortunate
coaches.
to get to work with both of those guys, and they're still Monaco's still there also at the building.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
what's
go.
up, man.
I'm
Them was
telling
both of my basketball coaches.
you. Yeah, very good. So you went off to this particular school so you could stay a little closer to home. What happened there? What was your experience like?
Uh yes, well, around that time, yeah, I went there for one year. We I mean, it was a good party in school or whatever like that, but I did sports broadcasting was my major or whatever like that. But around that time, poverty got the best of me. I didn't have really a lot of scholarship money or anything like that. So pretty much I was just paying out of pocket, and I wanted to just get away from the city for a while and try to see where I can go from there or whatever like that. But unfortunately, due to like not, I mean, I had average grades. They were good, but not well enough to where it would keep money flowing for scholarships and different stuff like that. I just chose to come back and pretty much earn money and see where it takes me there. So I pretty much had to start life early. Once I came back from school, I just pretty much just went straight into getting an apartment and starting to work or whatever. So
Gotcha. Picking up a 40-hour or more kind of week and just
yes,
pushing and keeping going. Definitely. And remember, young people, there's not one path. There are
yeah,
many, and there's lots of different paths that come from that path, right? So
yeah.
you're in a different situation than you were then. Did anything in between where you are now and then that would kind of fill in a little bit of time? I know we got between '04 and 2021. That's a lot of years in between. So
Oh yeah.
what were some of the highlights there, and then we could kind of explore what you're doing now.
Okay. Well, over the years, pretty much I've been like, it really teaches us that we need education or something like that to do a lot of jobs or something like that out here. But it seems like I went the other path. Like I went through FEC, I went through a lot of these funded programs that does the same thing to well, you don't need an education to do them. And I kind of like got underneath by being a teacher. I was a teacher's first grade teacher's aide for a couple of years. I try to stay in the education field because I started to evolve around kids
Hmm.
and be around kids. So I went to Satchel Paige over the years. Maybe it was like 2008, 2009 ish, and they had special programs where you can go through the Boys and Girls Club and FEC funded it. So
Gotcha.
uh, I did that for a while, and I got in good with the principal, and they extended me longer and longer over the years
Hmm.
because I guess I was just very good at it or whatever like that. I feel like kids was my passion. I went into another direction and mentoring them and different stuff like that, and that made me like a sixth through eighth grade basketball coach around that time. So
Wow.
pretty much that's where I showed that I wanted to be at and mentoring kids with like uh uh a troubling past somewhat like that sometimes, and I just knew I've been through the streets, I've been through the education part and everything. I just knew all traits of it, so I just wanted to make sure that our future can hear from a guy that's been through it all. So
Man, that's so real and so important and so necessary and so what we need. And it hits me
yeah,
here, man, because I remember wondering if that would be my path coming out of school and jumping right in and thinking this is what I'm going to look back on and be glad I did and
yes,
never hesitate a second. Because all those years, I mean, all 16 years at Paseo that I also spent there was so valuable, and it even gets more valuable as you continue to live your life because people like you grow up and we talk to them and we find out, down the road what's really going on, and what impact, maybe even small or large, that teachers play. So
yes,
respect to you for choosing a path like that and recognizing how valuable and probably how much you contributed to those young people.
yes,
So let's bring it up to today. Where are you
yes.
with what you're doing with yourself these days?
These days, pretty much I'm just working. I'm a family man. I'm married of nine years. Actually, November the 2nd was my anniversary or whatever like that. I have an
Congratulations.
8-year-old. Thank you, thank you. I have an 8-year-old daughter. Pretty much that's my world. I pretty much do everything for her. You know, everybody say she's spoiled or whatever like that, but I make sure that she has everything. And pretty much I'm just a working guy. I do warehouse and I do security, and my goal is to have a food truck. I like to cook
Hmm.
very well. I used to cook for the Chiefs and the Royals back in the day. The press box,
All
not the concession stands where you just drop it in the grease.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a difference, and pretty much.
What's your concept for your food truck?
See, it's kind of a secret because a lot of people are stealing it out
All right,
here.
never mind. Secret concept for your food
But
truck.
I'm gonna give it to you because I know it's still gonna work. Just for your show, I know it's still
All
gonna
right,
work.
you heard it here.
You heard it here. So when y'all see Reneil out there, y'all know, yeah, it's gonna be little fried winglets, right? And then it's gonna be funnel cake French fries.
Mm.
Yes,
All right.
I don't see it nowhere else. And then you get all your little sprinkles, your applesauce sauce, however you want to do it, or whatever like that.
Sounds good.
The events here.
Pull up here to the BOE once you get that truck going, and I'll bring
Oh,
everybody
yes.
downstairs. We'll be sure, because we do that on occasion. The BOE has visitors sign up every once in a while, and we have like Casey Cajun shows up and various other businesses that
Oh, yes.
we make a point to support. So let us
Yes.
know. Let us know.
Oh, yes. I love to cook for people. It's my passion.
Hmm.
And then besides that, I just take care of my family, and I travel. I travel every year. I make sure that I see the world and, get away from Kansas City for a while because, life teaches us, it's stuff out there more than a palm tree, so.
Amen to that. Well, very good. All right. So it's been fun catching up. The final part of this that we talk about it after we've kind of experienced what it was like to go out and be you, day in the life, and then many days in the life since then, is really what kind of advice you think you either heard back then that has still served you today, or what you think young people might need to hear just in their getting ready to go out into that experience. What's something you think you could suggest to them, or even older Kansas Cityans who also might be listening?
Yes, pretty much back then I was really a hard head at listening to my coaches, to teachers, adults, my mother, my parents, a lot of people, but I really know that they had the best for me out here. So when you hear advice from someone, you hear knowledge from somebody, man, stay humble and, I say age ain't nothing but a number, but it's experience. So if someone older than you give you experience on things in life or something like that, yeah, you're not going to listen to it then, but you're going to realize like later on, ding, it hits me. Yeah, they did tell me and I was a hard head not to listen. So
Right.
knowledge is power. And if someone knows something better than you and they let you know something about life or something like that, take it all in, be humble. Everything that God blesses you with, stay humble because he can take it away just as fast as he give it to you. You know what I'm saying? If you have kids out there, make sure you take care of your kids. They are our future. You know what I mean? And I just say a lot as I'm blessed to be where I'm at today because I did listen to people like, my mother, God rest her soul, and the coaches like Suber. I went to Central too, so Coach Bush that retired back then, and a lot of these people that really want the best for our inner city or anybody out here. If you're grown, just as well, I know grown people, we know it all, you know what I'm saying, but someone knows something that you don't know, so don't ever stop learning. Always learn something every day that you didn't learn yesterday.
Amen. I can agree with all of that. Well, thank you
Yes.
so much for taking some time to be with us today. Kansas City, thank you for taking some time to tune in. If
Thank you.
if you like this concept and you want to be on this show and tell me about your path and how you found it and some advice for other young people searching, then just get a hold of me. My name is Chris Odam. And this has been another fantastic episode of Life After. Thank you, Mr. McKeithen, for coming on and giving us your narrative and an update on how you're doing. I wish you the best. Everybody in Kansas City, have a great rest of your day.